Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the A3U Review.
Welcome back, Alex.
Thank you, I am back.
Alex, for those of you who didn't watch the last episode that we had, Alex was on his way to Japan and he's had a short little vacation there.
That's right, I went to Transformers Expo in Yokohama, Japan, celebrating the 30th anniversary of Transformers. It was awesome.
I wish I went.
A lot of exclusives.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys can find some of those online, but Alex had the luxury of actually being there, so you did actually pick up some exclusives as well there, right?
I did. There was a couple of TF Expo exclusives, including the G1 Dinobot Slug and Grimlock.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And I also picked up the Nemesis Prime, which was really, really awesome.
The Evasion mode, right?
That is right. And speaking of Evasion mode, we are going to be taking a look at a couple of Evasion modes today, right?
Yeah, I think just hearing about that inspired me. So, today we're going to take a look at and review the rusty version of the Evasion mode Prime.
And before we do that, we are actually going to be doing a comparison between the Hasbro Evasion Mode Optimus Prime with the Takara Evasion Mode Optimus Prime.
That's right.
We're your hosts. I'm Alex.
I'm Boris.
And you're watching the A3U Review. So the first thing we are going to look at is the Evasion Mode Optimus Primes, and we're doing a comparison between Hasbro and Takara.
Right away, I think you can see some obvious differences. I mean, if I look at the feet here, Alex.
Yep.
The North American version, they decided to go with all blue. They decided to give it some nice contrast, actually giving him the gray feet.
And it almost feels like the Hasbro version is kind of like a lazy version, because where some parts are painted here, they don't really have that paint and definition over here. But overall, it's still a great mold, so no matter which ones you get, they'll both look good, but this one, I gotta say, is the one that you would want to get.
Yeah, I agree. When I saw this in the stores, I was like, oh, this is awesome. And to be fair, it was really hard to actually find even the North American one at first. There were very few around. But yeah, once you compare to the Takara, you start realizing that they've actually missed some very big details.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I want to really, and it's not even just nitpicking, but if I really want to point out certain things, I think you were looking at it earlier and saying, like even the flame decaling on the arms, right? I think that's pretty important. I mean, this is Prime.
Yeah.
In the movie Prime, he's always got those flames on the side. So, to not have that decaling, I think it's a missed opportunity definitely on this one.
I also like the silver painted biceps here.
Mm-hmm.
Here they kept it straight blue.
And they carried that on, right? Like
there you go.
Pieces up here instead of keeping this just the red.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. All the silver accents where you would be missing it on the upper body on the North American.
And where it's blue on his cheeks, they painted silver on the Takara version.
Yeah, gave it a little bit more contrast. And then the painted eyes as well.
Painted eyes look good. This little part right here, it's blue here, but they kept it red here. And also the thighs, the upper thighs here are blue, and then here they kept it gray. This one is definitely a lot more impressive, and we should check out the vehicle mode to see how much different it is in that mode. Here we have them in their vehicle mode, and right off the bat, you don't notice that many differences, but actually, if you take a close look, I actually notice there's a number of things. Obviously, the feet, they fold over in the transformation, so it provides a little bit more definition as opposed to this just one single solid color. Now,
Agreed.
the one thing that really stood out in my opinion is that if you look off to the side, you see this is red, like right here, this is red. This is silver. We saw it in the shoulder. It's these shoulder blade thingies.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, that's something that you won't pick up if you're looking at it straight on. But I gotta say, out of all these little differences, it's the wheels, the silver wheel covers that make it really stand out.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that this one feels like it's just missing.
Definitely. The wheels are a big part of any kind of alt mode, I think.
Yeah.
At least automobile. And they really did it right on this Takara one. Just giving it that extra accent.
Yeah.
The silver makes it look more legit for sure. You know, if you're someone that's looking for the better version, I really do think Takara hit the mark on this one.
Yep. So get it while you can and while supplies last.
Definitely.
So there's our comparison of the Hasbro and Takara Evasion Mode Optimus Prime. So here we have the Japan Toys R Us exclusive Rusty version Evasion Mode Optimus Prime.
It's very obvious the paint scheme is supposed to match more with the movie.
Yep, that's right.
Those of you who already have the regular Evasion mode, the mold is still really good, so it still has the same great transformation.
Yeah.
And then has this added kind of weathering effect.
Yeah, and just like you said, the mold is great, so I feel that you can't go wrong by picking up an Evasion Mode Optimus Prime.
I do find that the weathering, you know, is not like, I mean, it's a little sloppy, but I mean, it's a mass-produced product.
Yeah.
So you can't really, you know, nitpick at that kind of thing with a mass-produced product. But I mean, I do think it's worth pointing out that if you saw it in a picture somewhere and you're thinking, oh, it's gonna be like a 3A figure or, you know, some sort of a, you know, I'm sure a lot of people have been in the Gundam hobby, seen weathering done on Gundam model kits. It's not gonna be that kind of hand-painted quality. And I mean, you can see some of the sloppiness even in the gun. They just kind of put all these kind of like panel lining in, but like left it really sloppy. It's kind of like just blotched on.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're a purist and you're looking for something that has accurate weathering, this is not the piece. But as a mass market piece, the weathering isn't actually done too bad.
Yeah,
they picked the right spots for it, I think.
Yeah, and to top things off, something we forgot to mention is the head.
I love the head sculpt.
Yeah, the head sculpt, I like this a lot better than that the I guess without the faceplate version. That one is still good. There's a lot of definition in that, a lot of detail, but this is just something that feels like, okay, this looks good.
Yeah, I think it's a really great version, and being that it's also, you know, super hard to get.
Yeah.
You know, if you do get a chance to get one, you should grab it.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get this guy in the vehicle mode and let's see what it looks like there.
So here we have the Rusty Prime Evasion mode in truck form. This is where it starts to really show some of the digital print that's on the actual car, the truck. I think they had a very good effort at giving it this kind of weathered look to it, but you know, honestly, like a real weathered look, you'd have it painted on, not in like this kind of it's almost like a digital like weathered print.
Yeah.
That's on top of it, and from further away it's not as noticeable, but it's actually, for me, it's very glaring when you actually are close up. I mean, it's not to say it's awful, it's just to say that I was really disappointed because when I actually saw it in a picture, I thought, oh man, it might be painted.
Yeah, well, actually, I don't mind it as much. It's definitely captured that really, really beat up, rusty, battle damage look, and I see that it's really captured that essence in this in the vehicle mode. So I don't mind it too much. I think it's actually not that bad.
Yeah, it's definitely more closer to the movie scheme colors than the regular Evasion Prime.
Yeah, this would be the movie accurate version.
Oh, so let's give it a rating.
So for aesthetic, I'm gonna give this guy an 8. I actually think he looks pretty good, not just as a mold, but also the weathering's decent in my opinion, because I like the movie accurate version.
I actually give it a 7. I gave it a slightly lower score than you because I'm a little bit pickier about the weathering, but on the whole, I agree with you a lot, Alex, about the fact that it's true to the movie. The color scheme itself is actually pretty damn great, and the head sculpt really changes it for me. I really do like the masked version.
For playability, I'm going with an 8.5. I love the way it transforms. It is different from what I'm used to. I think a lot of people will agree with that. And also, I love the way it can pose. There's a lot of articulation, which gives you a lot of opportunity to play with it a lot.
I give it an 8. For playability, I found myself actually playing with this quite a bit, transforming it into truck mode and also transforming it back.
For innovation, I'm gonna give it a 7. This is a great new figure, but it is a repaint. There are a lot of versions out there, and there's gonna be more versions out there, but it's still a great new figure. So, still quite innovative in my opinion.
I stuck with 9. I gave it a 9 because I didn't judge it on the fact that it was a repaint. The innovation for me has stayed the same, but the innovation on Evasion Mode Prime, I think, was actually done quite well. So I kept it at a 9 because I think that still stands with this figure. It is, you know, not overly complicated, but it's not simple either, which was really great, and it really did a little twist in how I thought it was actually going to transform.
So my overall score is a 7.8.
And my overall score is an 8.
Very similar score. If you don't have an Evasion Mode Optimus Prime, this might be the one to get. Mainly because it's movie accurate, and also, if you are a completist, considering that there's so many repaints of this guy, you might want to add this guy to your collection. Well, anyways, that is our review of the Evasion Mode Optimus Prime Rusty version, Takara Toys R Us exclusive version.
Wow, it's like a Starbucks order.
And that's our show for today. We hope you enjoyed it.
Stay tuned next week when we look at the vintage version of the Mania King.
As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, Ages 3 and Up, and also follow us on Twitter at Ages 3 and Up. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Good night.
Bye.